You can start.
Right. Lady Macbeth is, let's go ahead. I'm going to share my screen to the PowerPoint. Let's go. Okay. Give me a thumbs up if you see the PowerPoint. No, this is not the correct PowerPoint. There we go. Current slide. Macbeth, scenes 5 through 7. Okay. So Lady Macbeth is one of Shakespeare's most complex and compelling characters, and understanding her will really, unlock your understanding of the most important meanings in the play. You read Julius Caesar, if I'm not incorrect, and in Julius Caesar, there's a famous soliloquy. What is a soliloquy? Who remembers what a soliloquy is? I see two participants' hands are raised. Joseph, what is a soliloquy?
A soliloquy, if I remember, I think it's like a dialogue or like something a character says to himself.
Yes, a soliloquy is something that characters thoughts that they share to themselves. Silas, quickly, go ahead.
A soliloquy is an act of speaking of one's thoughts aloud, when by oneself or regardless of any hearers, especially by a character in a play.
Yeah, regardless of anybody else in the play, without addressing any other characters. Think about the soliloquy that. Go ahead and mute Silas, please. I got you. Okay. Think about the soliloquy that Cassius gave Julius Caesar in Act 1, Scene 2, about convincing Brutus to murder Caesar. What information do the readers get from that soliloquy? Do you have this soliloquy on page 19? The soliloquy about Julius Caesar? I think that we can skip that idea. The most important thing is in thinking about what ways soliloquies affect the reader's understanding of the text. So what ways do soliloquies, Alejandro, what ways do soliloquies affect the reader's understanding of the text? Alejandro, can you unmute yourself?
Wait, what was the question again? My computer's laggy.
In what ways do soliloquies help readers understand the text?
Soliloquies help understand the text. I don't know what a soliloquy is.
All right. A soliloquy is when one character just speaks their thoughts and their feelings out loud, but they're not speaking to any particular character. They're not addressing anybody else in the actual story or play. They're just saying their feelings basically for the sake of the audience.
Oh, so I think it helps the text because a soliloquy, since you said it's like one person talking about their feelings, I think it lets us find their character traits easier, and it also tells us the person that they are. And in case of like if there's like two opposing sides in the story, they would probably pick one side, and you already know because they would say it.
All right. Thank you, Alejandro. So this it gives us a deeper insight into the character. And we're going to find that this will actually help us characterize Lady Macbeth today. So as the story has progressed, Lady Macbeth has become an increasingly important character. She's also quite complex. As we move through the play, it becomes more clear and more important to understand her. In order to do this, we'll characterize her. What is characterizing? What does it mean to characterize? Adelaide, what does it mean to characterize?
To characterize, it means to talk about or like give description based on what based on the type of person somebody is.
Thank you, Adelaide. So we're going to describe a character using various pieces of evidence from the actual text. A soliloquy we reviewed already. So first of all, let's go ahead and analyze Lady Macbeth's soliloquy in scene 5. Do you all have the text? Yes. So we're in scene 5 of Act 1. We have to go through it step by step, and we're going to discuss exactly what she's saying. Then we will use it to assign character traits to her. The scene takes place in Macbeth's castle, where Lady Macbeth is reading a letter to herself that she got from Macbeth. What does that letter from Macbeth say? Let's get a hand. Let's get some hands. What does the letter from Macbeth say? I see Silas has a hand. What other hands do we have? Silas, I'm coming to you. What does the letter say?
Basically, the letter was talking about Tim Duncan. Like Tim Duncan coming to the
King,
castle and
not
stuff.
Tim Duncan, the king.
No, I said Tim Duncan.
Okay.
Yeah, so Tim Duncan and he comes to the palace of Lady Macbeth and Macbeth. And then after that, we should talk about when they're coming and stuff like that.
Okay. So the letter tells Macbeth that it says that Macbeth has been named the new Thane of Cawdor. It also tells Lady Macbeth about the meeting with the witches. Lady Macbeth's reaction may have been surprising the first time that we read it. So Lady Macbeth's reaction is this. She says that she believes her husband is too full of the milk of human kindness to do what he must do to make himself king. This means that Lady Macbeth thinks her husband is too kind to do cruel things that are necessary to actually become the king. She doesn't seem to have a lot of confidence in his abilities. So now I'm starting to think about what sorts of character traits we might assign to Lady Macbeth based on the feelings that she's describing to us in this soliloquy. So I want you to, we're going to go into a quick breakout room. And we're just going to take, let's take a minute. Breakout rooms, 2 rooms. What sorts of character traits might you give? How might you characterize Lady Macbeth based off of this, this soliloquy? Just take 1 minute, Miss Ramon. I'll put you into one of the rooms, and then we'll come back after a minute. Oh, actually, there needs to be only one room. Let me go back. Cancel this one. Breakout room. Okay. Miss Ramon. I'm actually having trouble getting Miss Ramon to go into the breakout room, so I called all the breakout rooms back. Let's just share out. Let's share out a couple of ideas right now. So I knew a few hands were up earlier. Nana, go ahead.
Can you repeat the question?
How could you characterize her?
I would characterize her as what's it called? I would characterize her as, I want to say ambitious, but I don't want to say ambitious.
Okay, thank you, everyone. Let's just let's take one more. So, what's another trait that you might give to Lady Macbeth? Go ahead, Lemuel. Lemuel, go ahead. Sorry, Lemuel, we're not able to hear you right now.
That's Mia. That's Mia. She sounds like a baby. Almond left? It says Mr. Almond left the meeting. I think they're not on mute. We're not on mute.
Did Mr. Amador's thing glitch out and leave? Looks like it. Alright. Why don't we wait until Mr. Amador comes back until, see, the thing with Zoom is it might just be giving Mr. Amador, like, it just crashes out of nowhere. So try to remember the last question Mr. Amador proposed to you, or if it was a discussion question, maybe just writing that down in your notebook until he comes, because I know you guys are just about to discuss it. So it could be that it just crashed. There's a Katie is writing down some answers. So it's been to Novia, you have a question? Your hand was raised, Novia. You have a question?
It was raised, but I forgot to put it down. That's
Okay.
why.
So Mr. Amador's internet went out. So until he figures out a way to join us again, why don't we just maybe finish writing whatever thought we had about the discussion? We can even maybe reread some passages of 100 to 30 out. Ray, can you lower your camera so we can see your face? Okay. So, do you have a question?
Yeah. Basically, wow, I forgot my question. Oh yeah. With the text, it's on my phone, and I don't have internet like connected to my laptop or like my other
do you have,
computer. So
do you have,
like if I
do you have,
need to
do
text,
you have Macbeth with you? Do you have the play with you?
I have it in a PDF on my phone,
Oh,
which I'm using right now. So like my
um,
camera's gonna go out if I use it.
yeah, that's fine. As long as like I'm gonna trust you in doing that, okay?
Okay.
So either we're rereading the text or rereading our play. If you remember Mr. Amador's last question, putting that maybe in. Oh, he's back. Mr. Amador, let me see if I.
Okay. Sorry about that, everyone.
Yeah, I think Miss Cynthia, if you could give Mr. Amador host. Okay, I see now.
Sorry, what 2 to 6?
So Mr. Amador, I think he's supposed to be the host right now. He's a co-host, so I don't.
Am I the host?
Yeah, you be the host.
Interesting. Okay, manage participants. Give me a moment.
Yes. Mr. Amador, I just had them, if they remembered the question you asked, to write down an answer or to read the text.
Great. Excellent. Thank you.
There you go. I'm giving away my power, Mr. Amador. It's all
Okay.
yours.
Thank you. Okay. So let's go ahead. We're back here. We are. So Lady Macbeth, thank you for all taking that time and writing down. This is my idea for Lady Macbeth, that she is critical and cold-hearted. So she not only criticizes her husband, but she also seems condescending about the fact that he's kind. I described Lady Macbeth as critical and cold-hearted. What does she say next in her soliloquy? What does she say next in her soliloquy? So now you're looking back into your plays. Just a reminder, the last thing that we talked about was that Lady Macbeth said that she believes her husband is too full of the milk of human kindness. So what does she say next after that? I'm looking for hands. I see there are probably eyes in the text looking for what she says next. I'm going to call on one scholar, so we should all be able to share out at least an idea because we have the text in front of us. So let's go ahead with Angelina. Angelina, what does Lady Macbeth say next after she says that he is too full of the milk of human kindness?
I don't have the text.
Okay, so my apologies, Angelina. I see there are a couple of other hands that are up. Let's find them.
Yes, and I will quickly get one.
Let's see. I'm gonna hear from someone other than Silas. Thank you, Silas, for your participation today. I'm gonna go to Anthony. No?
I think Zenobia had her hand up. Yep, Zenobia.
Okay, so she says that thou wouldest be great, art not without ambition, but with illness should attend it. He thee hither, that I may pour my spirits in thine ear, and chastise with the valor of my tongue all that impedes thee of the golden round.
Thank you, Zenobia. So what this basically like translate to is that she resolves to convince her husband to do whatever he needs to become king. So she's not having any confidence in her husband's ability to make these decisions on his own. So she's gonna she'll make it her mission to push him to do whatever it takes, no matter how awful it might be. So whatever this convincing consists of, we don't quite know yet, but it definitely creates this ominous feeling about what may be coming next from Lady Macbeth. What traits can we use to describe Lady Macbeth based on this new information from the soliloquy? Let's get a couple of, go ahead, Zenobia.
Okay, so we can characterize Lady Macbeth as a person who is determined to get what she wants, because she even tries to convince her husband to do something that he's not comfortable with, because he's too kind, apparently. So she doesn't have faith in a lot of things, obviously.
All right, thank you, Zenobia. So very determined. Adelaide, give us one.
I think like we said, whoever said she was ambitious or kind of not ambitious, I would just say that she is ambitious, because you can see that she's very trying hard here to convince her husband Macbeth.
Okay. So
Mr. Amador, sorry to cut you. Are Logan and Quincy just bathroom, or what's going on with them?
Logan?
Logan, Quincy, both of their videos are off, I see.
Did when my internet went out, did everyone get kicked out of the room?
Nope.
No? Okay. I'm not sure about Logan and Quincy. Okay, thank you. All right. So Lady Macbeth is critical and cold-hearted. She's also manipulative and ambitious. So some of you touched on that ambition there. She does it in a manipulative way. Another idea might be that she's intelligent, because it's taking it takes forethought to be manipulative, to plan, to make your husband king. It takes some brains, and we could definitely characterize Lady Macbeth as being intelligent. So next in the scene, Lady Macbeth tells her husband that King Duncan will never see tomorrow. She tells him to be patient and leave the plan to her. What does this mean? That he'll never see tomorrow? Thank you, Silas. Silas, you're at the top of the charts with participation. I'm looking to hear from some new voices. Let's call on anyone. I'm not. Esther, go ahead.
So what this is saying, that Lady Macbeth is telling her husband that that she would handle the king, like she would like she's planning to kill him, and that to leave everything to her because she has everything planned out already.
So Bintu, what does this mean for Lady Macbeth's character then? For what sorts of traits can we assign to her?
This quote gives Lady Macbeth more of an evil or bad character, because we know that killing someone is wrong, but if you're gonna kill it just to have your son to have your husband become king, that's just a little bit wrong or selfish. So that may kind of make her look as more of a bad person.
Thank you, Bintu. Bintu, if you can mute yourself, that would be helpful. Thank you very much. Okay, so Lady Macbeth is ruthless and also controlling. She's willing to do anything, even kill the king, so that her husband can become king. So let's get on to some discussion prompts here. What we're going to do is we're going to analyze the corrupting power of Lady Macbeth's blind ambition and the effect that it has on her husband, and use this information to identify a theme of Macbeth. So I'm going to attempt again to break us out into 2 breakout rooms. I'm going to stay here, and I'll put Miss Rahman in the other breakout room, and we'll take 2 minutes to share some ideas in our breakout rooms.
Can you lift your head up, please?
Ms. Rahman, there we go, Ms. Rahman. Okay. I'm going to open the rooms, and in 2 minutes we'll return.
Quincy, please do what you can to stay in the frame.
Okay. So for those who are still in this breakout room here, what information, so how can we identify the theme of Macbeth using based on this discussion prompt? I want to do less talking. I want to hear you talk. Zenobia?
Okay. I think that a theme of corrupting power. Okay. So I think that we can use how Lady Macbeth acts by saying that she is determined to get what she wants because she'll do anything in her power, even if it takes murdering somebody to get what she wants for her husband, even though it's not technically related to her.
Okay, thank you, Zenobia. Let's go ahead and our discussion prompt is here on the slide. So keep in mind that we're trying to identify a theme of Macbeth. So what could a theme of Macbeth be, Anaya? Anaya, please unmute yourself. I'm not able to unmute you for some reason. Are you able to unmute?
Who'd you ask for, Mr. Amador? Naya?
Anaya.
Oh,
McNair.
Anaya. Got it.
Yeah,
Here
thank
she
you.
is. Oh, actually, I can't either, Mr. Amador.
Okay. Then let's go to Jessica. Jessica, I'm going to unmute you, and we'll try to troubleshoot Anaya.
Can you repeat your question?
Can you see the discussion prompt on the screen?
No.
No?
It's facing
Okay.
you.
The discussion prompt is to analyze the corrupting power of Lady Macbeth's blind ambition and its effect on her husband. Use this information to identify a theme of Macbeth. So how can you identify a theme?
So you're basically asking me for a theme?
Yeah.
Or I don't know.
We should have all participants back in The room, yes, Ms. Ramon is back with her participants. Okay. So during your discussions, a theme in Macbeth may be the corrupting power, the corrupting power of unchecked ambition. So when you have a goal, just like Lady Macbeth does, and you'll do anything to do that, and you
Get that off your face, please, and come closer.
And you become corrupted, and it will exhibit some of those traits like ruthlessness.
Snovia.
So a theme in the story comparing, and let's go to discussion prompt 2 here. So we're going to compare and contrast the qualities typically assigned to the male and female genders and determine which are desirable. So now that we've had time, we're going to focus our discussion on comparing and contrasting these two qualities. So I'm going to facilitate a discussion here a bit. Males are typically viewed as harsh, ambitious, cruel, and aggressive. How are females typically characterized during this time frame? During this period of time. Go ahead, Katie.
Oh, I was gonna say, yeah, so females, they are like sensitive, caring, and like not as harsh as men.
And would you say that is that considered to be is it desirable for women to be harsh, or is it more desiring for them to be caring?
Caring.
Desirable, I mean. Women are typically viewed to be calm, quiet, and supportive. And they're typically viewed to be sensitive. Does Lady Macbeth seem to exhibit the qualities, these desirable qualities of females? Show me in your hands if Lady Macbeth is exhibiting these desirable qualities of females. Is she calm, quiet, supportive, and sensitive? I should see all hands in the screen. Show me an agree or disagree. Does Lady Macbeth show the desirable qualities of a female during this time? Yeah, she pretty clearly does not exhibit what at this time period would be considered desirable. She wants to be more masculine. She wants to be cruel. She begs for spirits to remove her femininity and grant her cruelty and masculinity so she could do what she has to do to get what she wants, to fulfill her ambition. So the next prompt, I would like for everyone to write. Let's prepare to write down our answer to discussion prompt 3. So identify a theme of Macbeth using what we know about the most desirable qualities in the genders.
Alejandro, hoodie off, please.
So let's take 2 minutes to write down a. Should I see some hands raised? Okay. Zenobia. Go ahead, Zenobia.
Oh no, I forgot to lower my hand.
Okay.
I see
So let's
Silas
get some
has-
more ideas.
Silas has his
We've
hand.
jotted down a couple of ideas. We've written down a couple of ideas on our paper. And so now let's share them out. Silas, go ahead.
Wait, answer the discussion prompt.
Yes, we took a few moments to write down our ideas, and now we're going to discuss them.
Okay, so basically, in the book Macbeth, the theme that's most presented in the text is blind ambition. Because you see, for males, they're trying to get like for males they're trying to get power and like become king. And then for females, it's like they're supporting and doing like the bad deeds that males are supposed to be doing, like killing the kings and stuff. So yeah.
Thank you, Silas. Kiara?
Kiara has had her hand raised.
Don't assume a person's ability by their gender. Yeah, maybe that one.
Okay. So what we did today was we spent some time going through a soliloquy of Lady Macbeth and used it to characterize her. What I'd like you to do for homework is brainstorm. Ms. Mesa, do you know if they're still going to be working on the performance task? Any of the scholars, do you know if you guys are working on a
Maybe I can jump in. For 7th grade, I know if the performance task is like play based, they've taken it out. But if it's just writing based, I think it stays. But I think yeah, Miss Messa would probably have a better answer for that.
So I think what you can do is brainstorm.
Mr. Amador, they can do
Yeah.
homework for homework.
The homework, right? Okay, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
So the homework that is that's like labeled as homework in their reading.
Yeah, scholars, you should, at the end of the lesson, Mr. Amador, does it say which scene or act they should read?
Yeah.
I'll put it in the chat here.
Thank you. What says the homework for tonight is to brainstorm for performance task 5 by summarizing the major events that have taken place so far, as well as list and describe each of the major characters and their contributions, and write summary body paragraphs of what you see, hear, and read in Act 1, Scene 5. So in your next class, you're going to work on the performance task. So for homework, brainstorm by summarizing the major events that have taken place so far in Act 1, Scene 5.